welcome back to my channel. I am Nicola and this is my little corner of the internet where I talk about things that I have been making, which most of the time is knitting or crochet. Hello, how are you all? Sorry that it's been a while. I've had a crazy few weeks. I think it's 3 weeks-ish, just over, since I last filmed. Today is Saturday the 23rd of June. Is it 23rd? I think so, I don't know. It's 23rd or 24th. Yeah, so hello! I hope you're all well. So I've got a few finished objects, a few whips and 1 or 2 acquisitions. Yeah, so let's get started. So my first finished object is a pair of socks. There are 2, but I'll pop one down so I can show you. So this is the Follow Your Path pattern by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, and for this I used the Camels yarn, the Pi Day sock set. So I did a little pop of colour where I knit 2 of the 2x2 twisted rib as I cast on 64 stitches, and then changed the main colour, and I did a total of 20 rounds for the cuff, and then followed the pattern, which is really lovely. So it's got like a mock cable and then like a broken rib thing in the middle. It's so easy to memorise. There's only 4 rounds of pattern, and then the Eye of Partridge heel, which is in the contrast colour, and then obviously on the bottom of the foot I did just plain stockinette stitch because I think pattern underneath your feet isn't very nice, and then pattern all along the top and a wedge toe and kitchened off. So yeah, these were finished not long after I filmed it last time, I believe. Oh, goodness, I'm hot already. May have to put the fan on in a minute if I carry on. But yeah, so that is those. Really lovely pattern, we recommend. It's only, I don't think it's even £3 on Ravelry. I will obviously link that below. And yeah, really lovely yarn from the Camels yarn. That was my first finished object, and that was knit on 2.25mm needles, and they were the high sharps 9-inch circular, which I then switched to the 32-inch cable for the toe. So yeah, that's the first one, and if you remember, I was almost done with my other sock whip, which is these ones. They are my next finished object. I can pop one down. So this is the Mountain Sock pattern, and again I did the pop of colour at the top, although I did just a normal, come on focus, normal 2x2 rib for the cuff for a total of the 20 rounds, and then yeah, the pattern, which goes by 1x1 rib and 3x1 rib. This one is a free pattern, but I did insert the Eye of Partridge heel from the Crazy Sock Lady's pattern onto here. And same again, plain on the bottom with the pattern at the top and the wedge toe. See, a lot of these are all going to be the same sort of things I'm saying, because all my socks are knit on 2.25mm needles, and these again were the 9-inch circular. Switched to the 32 for the toe. And the yarn, actually that's what I've forgotten, so the yarn was the November colour of the month sock set from Giddy Yarns, because November's my birthday. So that is those. And these ones actually have been washed because I panicked as I was leaving and I needed some socks, so I had put them on and then I washed them and put them to the side again, ready to show. So they have not been worn. And then, so there's 4 sock finish objects. I've made a pair of shorties with the Camel's yarn pie day with what was left over. So for this one, rather than doing the folded cuff, which is what I have been doing with my shorties, I did just 10 rounds of the twisted rib. Come on, it's focusing on that yarn in the background, isn't it? And then just the normal slip stitch heel. And I've done like a slip stitch pattern along the top of the foot. So I'm sure most of you know, so you knit one round. It's focusing on that too. Put it there to try and make it look like it was pretty in the background, so there's something there, but it's not working. So yeah, so you knit one round and then the next round you knit 3 slip 1. And it just gives you a slip stitch pattern, so you get the V's all the way down the foot and then the wedge toe. But yeah, there wasn't much of the contrast colour done, that's why only the heels are done on these. So yeah, I'm happy that now I've shown those, I can start to wear more shorty socks on when it's slightly cooler and I want to wear trainers. Because obviously I'm not going to wear the massive socks. And then with the leftover of the Giddy yarns, I knit another pair of shorty socks. But these are just plain vanilla. So just the 2x2 twisted rib for 10 rounds on 2.25mm needles. I then, so then I did 10, so 10 for the cuff, 10 for the leg, which was the same for the other shorty ones. Normal slip stitch heel, plain vanilla, and wedge toe. Yeah. So those are my 4 sock finished objects. Yeah, I like to try and get as much use as I could out of all of these, this yarn sock sets. So they are all done, and then I have one more finished object, which I think I did speak about last time, but this guy is all done. So we've got the tiger for my youngest teacher. So you do actually, you sew it up on the tail, you sew the tail onto the body to keep it in place, and this is just some faux fur yarn that you sew down the side, the cute little ears, the nose. It's a really comprehensive pattern. It was free on the blog, or you can buy the PDF. But as I'm not likely to make another one, I just used the blog one and dealt with all of the adverts. And cute little guy. Oh. Hello. Yeah, so he is all done. Yeah. So it gives you so much details of like how to try and make the eyes indent a bit more, where to place everything, obviously sewing the tail down. It's just cute little guy. So that's ready to be put to the side to be gifted to his teacher at the end of the year. End of the school year, obviously, not the end of the year, yeah. Okay, so now we will move on to works in progress. So I will start with the only one you've seen before. This is the Spiraling Cables Triangle Shawl by Stephen West. I did put a marker, I'm sure I put a marker to show you where I was. So this little, is it a leaf? Yeah. This leaf stitch marker is where I was. So I finished that colour and I'm now on to the green. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. Although you can tell I was obsessed with doing socks, so it's not got an awful lot of work on it in 3 weeks. Mainly because I'm not going to be wearing a shawl anytime soon, especially not a DK one. But yeah, so this I am knitting on 4.5mm needles. I may need to change the cord soon because that's getting quite close to the end look. And I'm using the coloured stripes are the advent calendar that I got from Giddy Yarns in 2021, which was the Narnia advent calendar. I'm just picking random colours out that I've already had balled up one at a time for the accent colours, and then for my main colour I am using the Drops Extra Fine Merino in the DK, and that is 100% wool. So it's superwash treated extra fine merino wool in DK, and it says it's colour 5, but it's like a mid-grey mix. So that's my main colour. And I'm on to my second ball of that. You can see just there. Onto my second ball of that. Yeah, it's got really nice cables. Just 4-stitch cables down the side. And I'm still increasing with the line, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9 of the main colour stripe cables, and I think I need 12 before it then goes into the crisscrossy pattern at the bottom. So not too much further. Yeah, so that's really nice, and that's hanging out in my Really Ditched Nicola's Knitting bag that I got from my friend. I'm trying not to show the bottom where it's really dirty, needs washing, but obviously it's got something in the minute. So once I've finished with this I will wash the bag because that's gross. So that is my first whip. Then on to my second one. I'll do this one. Here's another pair of shorty socks, because it is the summer sock camp that the Crazy Sock Lady is hosting at the minute. So I'm trying to get all of the socks that I had planned done over the summer to enter that to win prizes. So this is being knit on my 9-inch circular 2.25mm needles, and I have cast on 64 stitches as normal and the 2x2 twisted rib, but for this one, like I've done before, I'm going to fold over, so it's a folded cuff. Because I found with my other ones, when I've been wearing them, because it's sewn down, it doesn't stretch quite as much, so it holds your sock in place in your trainers, which I quite like. But I think I did just 16 rounds rather than 20, so it's slightly shorter. Oh no, 15. I thought I'd done 16. I have done 16, I counted that wrong. So 16 for the cuff, which I will then, when I've done, I will, once I've finished this sock, I'll fold it down and sew it down, so that's why I've got such a long tail, which is getting in the way to sew that down. And then I'm doing 4 rounds of each colour. And the purpley one that I've used for the cuff, that is the Lilac Cottage that I got from Ducky Darlings, which I did use on some mitts that I've shown before on a cardigan that I've worn, so I still had some. That's how much I've got left of that. Can you see? So I've got that, which I am then striping with just a grey yarn that I got from Blue Fern Yarns, that I had got just to use as like heels, toes and cuffs for socks. So I always had an accent colour if I got some yarn that wasn't part of the sock set, so I can have contrast heels, toes and cuffs. But it's done quite a few now, so I'm trying to use it up a bit more. And then I did the Eye of Partridge heel. You can tell I've become a massive fan of that. Although I think, so I still do the 16. Where's one that's got a normal? Yeah, so I still do the 16 repeats of knit back and forth for the heel. But I don't know if it's because it's the Eye of Partridge. Yeah, look, can you see? I don't know. So this one finishes here and this one's longer. So the Eye of Partridge seems to shorten how long your heel flap is. I'm not sure if I've done something wrong or if is the nature of it. But yeah, so I've done that. So I'm striping them, like I say, every 4 rounds. And what I did because I liked only 10 rounds in between the heel and then the heel flap, so obviously 1 stripe of each, and then I did 2 rounds of the grey, knit the heel flap and heel turn, picked up and then did 2 more rounds, so it stays in the 4 round repeat. And I think I need approximately 10 of each stripe from this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 more purple, and it'll be, I'm halfway through the grey, and 3 more grey. And then I think I'll be doing the toe, which, if I've worked it out right, I should finish on a grey stripe. So then the toe will be the cottage, Lilac Cottage colourway. Yeah, and that's hanging out in my Woolly Tangle sheepy bag, which fits in nicely, the 2. And then I've just attached my stitch markers to the inside of the bag so that they're always handy. I've just threaded that through the lining, there's not anything special in there to hold it. But yeah, so that is that one. And then, so I'll move on to this one. So this one you've not seen before, but you have, because it's the Cumulus top that I am re-knitting after having got it wrong the first time with the first yarn. So this, I ordered a different yarn because I really fell out with that one. I didn't like it at all. So I've given this one a go. It is the Filcolana Mercy, which is 50% wool and 50% cotton, and it's so soft, and I adore this colour. It's like, oh, favourite. I love coral, absolutely love coral. I don't know if that was the colour on knit.co.uk, but its colour, is it showing on? 614. And so I think the meterage of this is different to the Tinlina of the Sadness Garn that I had bought, and I wasn't sure, so I ended up buying 4 balls of this, even though I only needed 3 of the other ones. So I'm not sure if I'll need that 4th one, but I wanted to get 4 just in case, with it being different. And so it is ever so slightly thicker, the yarn, so it's not quite so see-through. And this is how far I've got. So you knit the 4 triangles, which I then, so I knit 1 triangle and then I put it on, you know, the try-on tubing, and blocked it just to see what my gauge was at, and it was just about spot on, if not a little bit tighter, but yeah, with how the last one was, I was okay with that. So I knit the 4 and then I cast on the amount of stitches it recommends. There is a hair somewhere. I cast on the amount of stitches it recommends for under the arms, and then knit only about 1 inch because I've learned from my mistake. And then I tried it on and it was doing the exact same thing of where it was coming too low under my armpit. So can you see, so this one, it hides my bra, there's the other one, was coming like really low down. And so it had nothing to do with my gauge last time, it was just how the pattern is. And when I had a closer look actually on the project page, you can see that it comes really low down under her armpit. So I ripped back to the 4 triangles and I cast on, I think, the amount of stitches that it tells you to cast on for the very first size. I'm knitting the 3rd size to go with the recommended ease, and then I increased just on one side, so where it would go towards the front 2 triangles, can you see? So I've increased out that way, but I only increased 5 stitches rather than the 9 that was recommended. And then I knit for a chunk again, and then I tried it on and it fits so much better. I think I've posted on my Instagram what that looks like on. Which way around? I'm holding it up. Yeah, I'm holding it all back to front, I thought it was. Yes, so now I'm just knitting round and round, and for however many inches it is. Don't think I'm even halfway yet. And then you do the folded hem at the bottom, and then you do the I-cord around the top. But yeah, so that's coming along nicely, and I love the way that this feels. It's so nice. But yeah, so that is my Cumulus top from Petite Knit. And I'm knitting with the recommended needles, which is 3mm. These are just the Knit Pro Zing. I know that they do them in America and they've got a different name, like they're both things, but one's, I'm sure it's Knit Pro here. Yeah, that is those, and that's living in my winter bag. Because of course it is. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying that, that's coming along nicely. Oh, honourably mentioned, so obviously I had to knit back my initial Cumulus top and the Stone Crop by Andrea Mowry. I did pick that up this morning and I've separated for the sleeves, but I've done literally 4 rounds, so it is not worth me showing it again until I make some decent headway on that one. But then we have a new cast on of a scrappy blanket, shamelessly stolen from, well, not stolen because she's not made the pattern yet, I've just tried to figure out what she's done, for Laura of Penrose Knits, which is based off of Pearl Soho prison blanket, I think. But yeah, so I'll hold it this way around. Maybe to start on my blanket. So all the colours are scraps of fingering weight superwash sock yarns that I've got left over. Don't think I'll always be able to remember them, but this was from Giddy Yarns in the, I think it was the Hobbit collection that I was sent to test, well not test knit, to sample knit her shawl. This was a 20g mini I got sent with an order, I think from Ellie of Craft House Magic, I'm not certain. This was the blue colour from the Iron Man sock set, mini skein, not sock set, mini skein set from The Lonely Knitter. It was like the Arc Reactor colour. This was, I think it was called Berry Crumble from Truly Hooked. This one, I want to say is like First Frost or something like that from Rosie's Knitting Shed. The green was from a 50/50 like a sister skein set from Blue Fern Yarns, where you got the green and the red, which I've not put the red in yet obviously. And then this colour was the contrast colour to the sock set that I got of the January colour of the month colourway that I didn't use because Joseph wanted a scarf, so I didn't need the contrast colour. I think that was the one. It was that or the contrast colour of another sock set that I got, which that was the main colour of. That was from Giddy Yarns. And then, so the main colour, so the white off-white colour is from Woolly Knit. It comes in a cone, 500g cone. No, it's not. This is the King Cole Merino. I've got the link. Doubt it. No, it's the King Cole cone that I bought off of eBay, the 500g superwash merino. That I then, because for it I am holding 2 strands of the figure 8 double to make it DK weight. I obviously had to cake up some off of the cone so that I could hold this double. Yeah, it's the King Kong one. I've not used the woolly knit one yet. And that is living in my another woolly tangle bag. Origami cranes on. It's just about fitting in the minute. I've got loads of, so they've got to be at least 10 grams each. So I've got loads in here of the little scrappy colours, and then some more in here as well. But I'm planning on also intermittently adding, because I won't use all of the advent calendar in my my spiralling cables for Stephen West. Because obviously I've got like 24 different colours, so I will, because they are DK, I'll just need to hold those single and add them in. But obviously I don't want to start adding them in until I know for certain how many I've got left from the spiralling cables. But yeah, and I want it to be huge, like a great big massive quilt. I think I want 10 squares wide ish, so there'll be like 5 for me, and then there's another 5 so that Rob can sit under it with me, and it can just be on the back of the sofa when you get home in the winter. Now I'm using, what am I using? Where is it? Have I left that downstairs? I think I have. So the needles I'm using are the 4.5mm, and it was like an Addy lace that I got. I don't think it was 16 inches. Might have been. But like, it's just a little cable. Just because obviously as you're knitting it, you are just picking up from side to side. So you just need it long enough for the two. It's never gonna, like, you're not knitting the length of it, so you don't need a massive cable. You're just knitting each square as you go, and you pick up stitches along, and then use short rows to shape out the triangle, and then decrease to finish it. Yeah, so that is that, and they are all of my whips that are actively receiving some love at the moment. And then, so obviously for acquisitions, I did buy the yarn that was for the Cumulus top, but you've seen that already. But then I decided what I was going to do with this Mamie and Florrie mohair beautiful yarn. I am going to knit the, sorry, that was my phone, I didn't realise that was on loud. I am going to knit the Lace and Fade Boxy by Joji Locatelli. I've never actually had to say that out loud. But it's not going to be faded, so obviously this is going to be the mohair, where she's used it in her pattern. It was just like an off-white, and then instead of fading the yarn down, I'm going to use this Sadness Garn Sisu. I'm going to guess that's how you pronounce it. I've got no idea. But this is the chalk colourway that I got from knit.co.uk, and this is made up of 8% superwash wool, 20% nylon, and it is 175 metres per 50 grams. So I think this is more of a sport weight, which is what it calls for. It's the exact same meterage that the yarn that she used, that she said she needed. But yeah, so they're going to be striped. And I think it's going to be so cute, you know, because it's going to be striped in through with the chalk colour. It's not going to be too overwhelming. But I think that'll be really cute. Yes. But yeah, so that's the only acquisition that I've had since I last spoke to you, because I've got an awful lot of things that I need to finish, and an awful lot of things that I've already bought yarn for that I need to cast on and then finish. And partly of why I'm going back and finishing my stone crop now is because I don't want to cast on another garment until that one is done. So I can't do this one until that one's finished. So, well, I could if I wanted to, but I don't, because garments take so long. I don't want to have too many and it's on the go at once and just feel like I'm not getting anywhere ever. So I'll finish one and then start the next. So that is that one. And that's everything yarny that I've got to talk to you about today. That didn't make sense in my head, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so Oliver has finished his chemotherapy. Yes, he's still got one radiotherapy left on Monday. And so with regards to ringing the bell, he has rang the bell for finishing chemo, but he'll get to ring it again tomorrow because that will be his treatment finished completely. He wanted to ring them at both places, which, yeah, fair enough, I completely understand, but also chemo was so hard for him that I think being able to signal the end of that was really important. But yeah, we're near there. He's finished on Monday for all his treatment, and then he'll just need the scans to check where it is now. But they did say that the radiotherapy can cause swelling and stuff, so they need to wait till like the end of July, and then they'll do all of the scans. And then hopefully that's it. It'll just be check-up scans, and then we'll be done. And I've been back in touch with my university about going back and starting back there in September, which I imagine then I won't have quite as much knitting done, because so I live in Nottingham and the uni that I go to is BGU, so that's in Lincoln, so that's a good hour and a half there and then back again, and they're full days with it being primary education. So I'm not going to get much knitting done or any kind of crafting whilst I'm there, but that's not till the end of September. So hopefully we'll have a nice summer break from everything. We are taking the lads out and going camping to Sandringham, because we asked Oliver what he wanted to do, and he said that he wanted to go camping in Sandringham, which is what we normally do every May. Yeah, it's all exciting. And I need to put it in my calendar somewhere, a time to actually sit down and podcast, because with working on the house and trying to get that finished, I'm just like putting it to the side, like, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, and then something else needs doing. Oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, and then something else needs doing, and then it's 3 weeks since I last filmed. So I should put it in my calendar and make sure that I actually do it, and there's a designated time for doing this, to speak to you guys, because it is really lovely speaking to you all, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you. Yeah, thank you for everything and supporting me. Brilliant. How are you all? Are you all looking forward to summer? Are you enjoying the sunshine now that it's here? I say now that it's here, I think it's forecast thunderstorms later on, or at least tomorrow. But yeah, it's nice having the sunshine. Yeah, I always feel awkward. Let's sign off. But yes, thank you for watching, and I hope that you're all well. I've said that about 5 times. I noticed that in the last one that I said that quite a few times, so I'm sorry. But yeah, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.